Happy holidays, beloved friends. I'm Reverend Kira, and it is our third week of Advent to prepare ourselves to be all that we already are. And yet there's a part of us that opens and prepares the way for the birthing of Christ in this Christmas season. You know, this is a time where we acknowledge the birth of Jesus those many years ago, and we celebrate this season, but we also acknowledge the birth of that Christ consciousness within ourselves, the birth of a renewed awareness or an awakening. Let's have an awakening into the depth and truth of who and what we are. See, when we begin to prepare, we started with hope and faith, and really established that ground of being that says, I do trust. It goes beyond hope and faith to trust. Trust is another level of that, is that I trust this universe and what it is doing and how it is moving in me to bring me to higher consciousness, to awaken me to more of who and what I am, that I may serve in a more powerful and more connected way. And then we moved into the advent of peace, because just as Mary and Joseph represent that nature of our feelings and our thoughts, they must unify and harmonize in peace. And as that peace is established in our being, then we open the possibility to receive something even more magnificent. We chose the affirmation this month: there is something magnificent happening here. What if we were to recognize and acknowledge and come with the realization that in this time of moving forward moment by moment in this beautiful season, that we recognize there is something magnificent happening here within me, happening here within all of creation. Because as we begin to open ourselves to the realization, because all there really is this knowing within us about the truth of this divine light that is always with us. It is never gone. And yet we remember, we celebrate the realization, and we open to an even greater realization of the light, the love, the truth of us. So this week, we are in the advent of love. Once we begin with that spark of hope, and we establish and ground that in faith and hold and anchor that faith, then we move into what we did this last week with peace. And now out of peace is born love. What is born is love that then can give birth to something even more magnificent, an infinite grace that is ever flowing in our world. And so we begin this week really looking at, am I living love? Am I living from love? That love is the essence of who I am, and that kind of love that is born where all the world celebrates, where it is experienced by the shepherds in the fields, by the thoughts that are distant from us, those that are born out of the sunrise and sunset, out of every arena of our lives. And all of the world recognizes that something magnificent is happening here. They recognize this experience of love, because love is not about the emotional love of our world. When we're talking about this kind of love, it is an infinite love that cannot be separate from its creator. There's no love and not love. There is only this infinite loving essence. And when we begin to open and prepare the way to realize that kind of a love in ourselves, we love because it is our nature. We are love. We express love. We are loving and kind, and we treat ourselves with every thought that we think, every word that we speak, every feeling that we have as a loving expression. And we recognize and choose that love again and again and again. In the midst of the circumstances that after Gabriel, the messenger of God, came to Mary and Joseph, you know, they had to reconcile that, oh my gosh, this is a divine expression. This is a divine love that is being born. What if I open to that? Well, then I do the next right action. Then I follow the flow of where I'm being guided moment by moment. Even if it's a trip across the country, even if it's somewhere you don't find it easy to travel to, or you're not necessarily accepted immediately, that you get there and then there's no room at the inn. Well, what if we stay in that loving place, that loving truth, because we know and we realize something more magnificent than has ever happened before, even more expressions of love, more awareness of the love that is all around us, the love for this earth, for all of creation. Every plant and every mineral is an expression of love. And it is the infinite love that is expressing. And every animal of the sky and of the land and of the waters. I mean, every bit of creation, every being is made of love. So when we begin to choose love, to love ourselves as a divine creation, to love the world as a divine creation, to love one another and the unique expressions that we give, to love the diversity that is in our world, then we don't need to prove we're right and someone else is wrong. Love is the place where there is no judgment, where there is no separation. There is no good or bad or right or wrong, or better or worse. We are all made of love. So as we live and begin to allow that harmony with our own being, we establish ourselves in peace and faith. We experience and express peace, and we ground ourselves as a place of deep inner peace, at one with all of creation. And then it's natural for love to bubble forth, for the love that bubbles forth with laughter, the love that bubbles forth with quiet realization. So I invite you, where is there a thought that maybe could be more loving towards yourself or others? Let's let go all judgment, all comparison, all separation consciousness, and come into the true birthing, the love that is the essence of all. And we recognize one another with that love and in that love. And all the world is lifted into a higher experience of a loving vibration. We appreciate everything from that place of love. We appreciate the gift of life, the gift of the connections that we have, the gift of experiencing so many different experiences. We may like some better than others, but they are experiences that are born of love, inviting us to know there is something magnificent happening here. Come experience the magnificence with us at Unity Bay Area, Houston. We have so many amazing things and fun activities going on, and would love to have you join us for one or all of them. Our Sunday celebration service is at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, and we'd love to have you come live and let us celebrate you as well and share in food and fellowship and all the wonderful experiences. We also have it live on Facebook at our Unity Bay Area Houston Facebook site at 10:30 on Sundays. We also, this week, we've got a sparkle shop. Oh my gosh, have we got accessories galore for everyone on your list. And they're happening at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, noon to 1 on Sunday following our service. We also have at 1 p.m. on Sunday our youth sharing a wonderful storytelling called Through the Eyes of a Teddy Bear. And they will share their own Christmas love with us through the eyes of their teddy bear or their stuffed animal of all different sorts. I imagine there'll be some unicorns in there. We'll just see. Anyway, and we have a Christmas posada happening Monday evening from 6 to 9 p.m., celebrating the nativity experience from the traditions in our Spanish-speaking communities. And it is going to be a lovely experience, and can come and join that. So there's so much happening. We just love to have you share the Christmas season or winter solstice for drumming, or that same day of winter solstice, we'll be doing Christmas caroling out at some memory care centers. So we'd love to have you join us for any of it. But what we most want is you to experience this Christmas season as a blessing within your own being and a blessing in the world. May the holidays truly sparkle for you. God bless you, friends. There is something magnificent happening here.